welcome to Still Buffering, a sister's guide to teens through the ages. I'm Riley Searle.
I'm Sydney McElroy.
And I'm Taylor Smurl.
Sorry for the opening laughter. We're all in the same room.
It's so nice. I can see
yeah.
you and smell you. I can't really smell you. That's me. Never mind.
I showered.
Yeah, I'm clean.
You all smell nice.
Thank you.
You do too.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Okay.
Really?
You do. And
We don't talk
actually,
about it.
my daughter told you that like first thing this morning.
Oh, she did. She did. That's right. Yeah.
Charlie's very nice about telling you you smell good.
Mm-hmm.
But we were laughing because I asked Sydney, we don't have to count in this week to sync up our tracks. So I said, hey, Sid, do that thing they do on TV where you 3, 2, and they pantomime 1 and point at you to go.
Right.
And Sydney did it, and it was a lot funnier than I anticipated it would be.
I was trying. It was an inside just for me, and maybe Taylor also was thinking this too. It was like a Wayne's World reference for me personally.
Yeah.
I didn't think you were gonna get that though.
No, I think she was
didn't.
just laughing at you because you look a little goofy when you did it.
Hey.
A little goofy.
Oops.
That's kind of a Wayne's World joke too.
I figured when you said you thought it was a Wayne's World reference.
You've seen Wayne's World.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. You showed me Wayne's World.
Have you seen Space Jam yet, Sydney?
Still no.
Sydney.
Sorry.
Sorry. But you know,
Just gonna make that a weekly update to shame you into doing it. Just
until
every
I
week.
watch Space
And the
Jam.
Space Jam update.
I've been really lost. If I have free time to watch TV, I've been really lost in Zumbo's Just Desserts lately. So
That's a good pick.
it's so magical.
He makes floating hats out of chocolate.
I don't know. I tried a couple episodes, guys, but I really hate watching people fail. It makes me feel bad. And there's a lot of that in that show.
But for the most part, most of them are pretty chill about it. They're like, this was a really hard dessert that no human should be able to make.
And
but
I
somehow
made a really
Zumbo
good
can.
effort.
And I tried really hard.
But
and some parts of it taste good. So
But they fail so spectacularly. That's the part that I just can't. It's like, it's not like you don't just like, oh, you didn't quite hit all the points. It's just like, you just don't belong to the same species as Mr. Zumbo. Is that his name?
Mr. Zumbo.
Mr. Zumbo. If you haven't seen this show, I would highly recommend it. It's like a baking competition, except it's set in like a factory, like a candy factory. It's like very Willy Wonka.
The dessert factory.
Yes, the dessert factory. And Adriano Zumbo, is that his name?
Zumbo.
Zumbo.
Mr. Zumbo.
Who's
Mr.
like,
Zumbo.
I guess, a celebrity chef, celebrity baker
In
Australia.
Yeah.
He hosts and judges and everything.
My favorite is his assistant, though, who just yells at them, 5 minutes left!
And then
Go!
comes over and goes, "What are you gonna do?"
I know, whenever they mess up, she just appears like, what are you going to do? What's going to happen?
It always ends, though, with them having to replicate one of his very challenging desserts that not only probably taste amazing, but they look like works of art that certainly the average human cannot replicate.
Oh, and they cannot.
No, and these are home bakers. These are not professionally trained chefs.
It's a very mean show, I think.
I think it's kind of magical, though. And they have like slow motion cuts of people like sifting flour and
like tempering chocolate.
Yeah, tempering chocolate, and it's all like slow motion, and they play music, so it's like, ooh, magic. I find it very like enchanting. I'm just like, oh.
Are we a Zumbo fan cast?
Yes.
Is this what just happened?
Sorry.
You didn't prep me for this. I thought we were about generational differences, but now, okay. Cool.
Something had to fill the void with Great British Baking Show not
Yeah.
being on all the time.
I agree.
So, but speaking of watching things on television,
Hey, look at that. You
hey, did you see that? What I did there?
smooth. You slid
Christmas
right in
Prince.
there.
Well, you could also do it that way, I guess. That's a jump cut, I think.
Yeah.
Is what they would call that on
An
TV.
an audio jump cut.
Yeah. Where you just, instead of making a transition, just go Christmas Prince. So
Welcome, everyone.
there's a movie everyone's talking about, I guess.
Yeah.
I didn't know this.
Well, I think
You all
part
told
of
me.
the reason I guess a lot of people are watching, it's just a Netflix made movie. But I guess the buzz is because Netflix made a tweet that was like, to the people or the person that's watched Christmas Prince 57 times a day, like, who hurt you?
It
along those
was
lines.
like the 53 people
Oh,
who
that was
have
it.
watched Christmas Prince daily for the last 18
Oh, that's
days.
what it was. Okay. There aren't
Yes.
that many hours in the day. I got it backwards.
No, that's what it was. It was 53 people. Which, by the way, for one thing, Netflix can track that. So
Yeah, that was what I thought about after
yeah,
reading that tweet.
you can't hide your shame anymore.
Oh, well, but that's a lot of people gave him heat over it because they're like, that's creepy and you shouldn't release that data. But this is not new. Like, this is not the first time one of these companies has made ads or jokes about their listeners' habits. Like, Spotify had like a whole like bunch of stuff, like ads about people that listen to goofy songs over and over again or whatever.
Yeah.
Like Seamless had a series of Subway ads that were specifically customers' goofy requests that they made that were really funny. And then who else did the same thing? Oh, I guess then also Spotify did it again recently with playlist titles.
See, that's I think that I don't know if I'm the only reason I'm tuned into this, not because I'm hip to this kind of stuff, but I watch a lot of Shark Tank and also Dragon's Den, which is the original
Canadian Shark Tank.
Right.
Shark
It was the original version. Shark Tank is the American Dragon's Den. It was in Canada and the UK.
I see.
I think it started there. But anyway, they talk a lot about when they're trying to pitch a new app or something, or some sort of computer-based product. They'll have like the front end of it where they provide the service, but the back end is always data collection. That's always the secret mission of this new technology, is to collect data on people so that you can sell them things more effectively.
And now Netflix will suggest to Sydney and Justin's account that they watch more movies like The Christmas Prince, because we are now in that number of people who've watched it.
Yeah.
That's right. It is because it is the holiday season. I think a lot of us spend a lot of time with our families watching holiday films. Usually the standards, like the things, I mean, I think most people I think have some traditional films they watch this time of year.
Yeah.
For us, it's usually Christmas Vacation.
Yes. Yeah. Christmas Vacation. Justin and I always watch Scrooge while we're decorating the tree, and we always watch It's a Wonderful Life when we wrap presents.
I like to watch A Nightmare Before Christmas, but that's a little confusing because that also works as a Halloween movie. You kind of can watch that twice a year.
That's why it's my all-time favorite movie.
It's a
multi-holiday
movie.
Extravaganza.
Yeah.
And I will say, A Very Merry Christmas has now become part of my.
Oh, that's so chill.
I
Like,
love
it is.
Yeah.
But we decided we needed something new this year.
So we've added a new movie to our list that we'll watch every Christmas as a family.
Will we? Wait, hold on.
Yes.
I don't know that we agreed to that.
We'll add a new family
No.
member every year. Next year, Dad's going to watch Christmas Prince. Stay tuned.
Riley informed us that Christmas Prince is very popular among the teens. The teen set.
Well, because we were talking about teen Christmas movies, and I was like, there's no movie I know of that is about teens at Christmas that is very popular that I've heard of before recently, or that I've seen, or that is very popular amongst only teens. And then Christmas Prince.
There you go. No, a lot of Christmas movies tend to be either like family centric or like romantic.
Yeah.
Although this is a romantic. I
It is romantic.
I can't say comedy. I was about to say romantic comedy.
There are quite a few jokes in there.
I mean, I
intentional.
look. I rallied hard for the JTT classic "I'll Be Home for Christmas," but Christmas Prince won out. So, sorry.
So-
This could be all about the glorious acting career of Jonathan Taylor Thomas. We're talking about the Christmas Prince instead.
So the Christmas Prince, if you haven't seen it, go watch it. Or
Should we tell people that?
Are we endorsing Christmas Prince? Let's
talk
get
about
through
it.
it.
And
Yeah.
then we'll decide if we can endorse it or
Yeah.
not.
So maybe go watch it. We're not sure.
I still want us to record our companion track
Our companion track where we predict what's about to happen 30 seconds before it happens.
like
every
we did every
single
single time.
Because it's super easy to predict.
Yeah. So it's formulaic, I think one could say.
Yeah.
It is on Netflix, so if you have Netflix, you can just go watch it.
Yeah.
It's fine. It has. You can do that.
Sydney's glowing review. It's
It's
fine.
It's on Netflix.
It's fine. You can go watch it. It's fine.
We already have Netflix, so it was very little effort to obtain.
Like, you're not buying a theater ticket for that. If that was the case, it'd be just straight no. Just unadulterated
fine.
no.
It stars
iZombie.
iZombie.
And
Yeah. And
Prince
Christmas
William?
Prince. Christmas Prince Harry, because he's a player.
This is the moment, by the way, where I look up. Hold on, what is iZombie's name?
It stars iZombie and Handsome Chin.
Is that all
That's
I'm
fine.
gonna say?
Here's our description of A Christmas
Okay,
Prince, the Netflix original.
There's the bad guys, which are
Red dress,
sassy red dress,
sassy red dress, and
bad pants.
bad pants. Bad pants the cousin.
Yeah, bad pants the cousin.
Her real name. She's a really good actress, though. Rose McIver.
Yeah. So iZombie.
McIver.
So iZombie.
She's really. I just think she's a good actress, and she's she
Her
deserves better.
talents were tested.
Yeah, I mean, I will say I would prefer to watch iZombie over this.
Yes.
I think she's
Yeah.
great in that
I would agree.
property.
That's
I
true.
don't know how much she had to work with. Well,
So iZombie and Bad Chin?
Handsome Chin.
Handsome Chin.
I didn't know what we had decided about his chin
Christmas
yet.
Prince Harry.
And should we a brief plot summary
Yeah.
of this fine Christmas
Basically,
film.
take.
Spoilers, I guess.
I guess if
seen
you're
it.
really upset about hearing spoilers for the Christmas Prince, but basically take the plot of any Hallmark Christmas movie and change the girl next door to an undercover journalist,
Well,
and
which is also an overused narrative,
right. And the boy she doesn't intend to fall in love with but does is Christmas Prince.
There you go.
And that's
So-
it.
Yeah, they always like to do that to there are a lot of movies with a lead female character who is a plucky journalist.
Yeah.
He's quirky.
Yeah, she's
quirky.
quirky.
Relatable.
She's different. Yeah.
It's Never Been Kissed, Part 2.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Because she's a journalist undercover, as the tutor of the prince's younger sister,
So the princess of Aldovia.
Aldovia.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's a made up place, obviously.
She's been sent on assignment to Aldovia.
Because apparently to this magazine she works for that was also doing a story on Fashion Week, so one would assume a fashion magazine. But oh wait, they're sending a journalist out to talk about the coronation of a prince of the country named Aldovia.
Well, it was I mean, as much as they explain anything, they sort of explain it by saying like he's an international playboy, he's scandalous. It's very dishy, you know? Like that's kind of the way it's explained. Like, why in the world would you be covering international affairs? Well, this is why, because there's drama.
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to remember the name of this place she works. Because it's very the magazine she works at is very like exactly what you would expect. They're like, we want something trashy, something that sells. Get to it, hop to it. We don't want to hear your news stuff. Exactly.
Yeah.
So she goes to Aldovia to interview
Made
the
up.
prince.
Aldovia is made up.
Yes, it is not Genovia.
That is Princess Diaries.
Are they related?
They're of the Ovia continent.
They're the Ovian Empire.
Yes, the Ovian Empire.
Ovarian?
No.
Ovarian Empire?
Let me tell you, if there is an Ovarian Empire, I'm about ready to join it. But
Yeah, you're its queen right now, Sid.
Ovarian Empire and
Supers.
of Aldovia and Genovia.
I just think an Ovarian Empire doesn't sound like a bad move for the planet right now. But that being said, no, I don't know if they're related, but that certainly is very close. It almost seems intentional. Does this exist in the same universe?
Is this a theory
Fan
we're developing right
theory?
now? Hold on.
Are
Alright.
Aldovia and Genovia trade partners?
Welcome to this episode of Christmas Theory.
And there's supposed to be a press conference, but it's canceled because the prince is so flighty.
He just disappeared.
You think.
Dun, dun, dun.
You think that's how he is. But we're going to learn better. And then she poses as the sister's tutor and becomes part of the family,
But
basically.
How she gets the job as a tutor, it's very suspect.
Very
Because
illegal.
first off, there's a moment after the press conference where like, all the international journalists are kind of ambling away all upset. And they're like, oh, let's go back to the hotel and get some drinks. And that is, I always like to ask myself in a narrative, like, what would I do? I'm like, that's it. I'm
That's
gone
what I
from
would
this
do.
story. But she decides to sneak into the castle to take selfies with like suits of armor. I don't know what Susie's doing.
Really what she's doing.
Yeah. And she gets discovered. And, you know, the person who discovers she's like, oh, you're American. You must be the tutor that is supposed to come in 2 weeks. And she's just like, yeah, I got to go with this.
Which, can I say that the guy who's like a butler or something who discovers her, he seems like he's going to feature in this movie.
And he
prominently.
disappears.
And then he vanishes.
Yeah, that was his.
You feel like you're set up for like some sort of like he's her secret ally kind
like
of.
her secret Betty Butler.
Yeah, and
Betty Butler.
no. He's gone now. That was his function.
That was his moment.
That was
A
his
pretty
role.
important function to ask for no credentials to this person you are now going to allow in the royal castle.
Yeah.
Like, he had a pretty important
I
function.
know who you are. Come. Here's royalty. Here are their private chambers where they're arguing. Please let me show you. Let me show you in. So she becomes the tutor, and then secretly starts investigating the Christmas Prince on the sly.
Dun, dun, dun.
And she learns that he's got a heart of gold.
He works at an orphanage.
Well, the one time he
He-
does.
Yeah.
Well, he loves to go help the kids there, according to his sister.
Right. By having snowball fights with them.
Right.
And teaching them about firing squads.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's like there's this. Yeah, so the cute scene where he's like playing with the kids in the snow, and then the next thing you see, he's having them all mimic a firing squad on a snowman,
Uh-huh.
and I guess that's a good princely instruction to give children.
Your subjects.
Yeah.
Also,
I don't know how Govia works as far as that goes.
he's a friend to horses.
Yes.
Yes.
He has a very large, very beautiful black horse that he rides around, and and occasionally abandons to run off
Just
on its
leaves
own.
to run off.
But he does not seem disturbed by this.
No, that's a very loyal horse. It's like,
Horse
are we
always
done here?
finds his way
All
back.
right, I'm gonna go get some groceries. I'll be back later. See you, human. And he's like, my horse.
I'll be back by the time you're done with your snowball fight. Don't worry.
Well,
Your other snowball fight.
Your
They have
other-
like 4 of them in this movie.
There are a lot of snowball fights in this film.
well, it's like a classic, like, you know, like, oh, we're fighting in the snow. Oh no, you slipped on top of me. Romance. Like that's you know, that's how you fall in love in the snow.
Right. Snowball
That's how
fight.
it's done.
Yes.
You're learning this now, Riley, because you're still young.
Thank
but
you.
That's
Sometimes a person meets another person and they throw snow at each other and then they love each other. And that's romance.
That's how babies are made.
That's how babies are made.
Snow babies.
so we learned that the prince is not as flighty and flaky as we kind of thought he was, I guess.
I like this brief plot summary has turned into like a 15-minute discussion of the entire movie.
Well, that's kind of the podcast, you know.
Yeah, it's pretty much it.
So I know this is a point that I still am not quite clear on. He disappeared. Their king, his father, died about a year ago.
And in Aldovia, the throne can remain empty for a year.
And then it has to be filled.
And then it has to be filled, but
instantly.
1 year exactly. And
Yeah.
apparently the king passed away on Christmas.
And then a year later, the
It's
prince
like-
comes home
yeah.
because now he has to, become king. And I guess in the year in between, he's been like sleeping in tents on beaches.
He's been discovering himself, I
Yeah.
think.
He has a beard.
Which,
For, like,
you
a
know,
minute.
That's a sign of soul searching.
Yeah,
When
you grow a beard.
Yeah.
Right.
I can't grow a beard. How would I demonstrate that I've searched my soul?
You're a woman.
I can't. I can't do it.
Sorry.
I'm not allowed.
No,
the
it's
pop
true.
culture won't let me
No, you're right.
go on a deep soul searching mission.
I don't know, like you haven't tweezed your brows like in a while. Like I don't know. It's something bad.
It's so
Something dumb.
unfair because if you flip it around and it's that like she hasn't shaved her armpits in a year,
Yep.
that would not be a major plot point, I bet.
Because then when the prince comes out with a clean shaven face, it is not the same as if she comes out and like, oh, she shaved her armpit. Good for her, I guess.
Oh, she's so
Okay.
attractive now.
I wasn't attracted to her before, but now I am.
Look at those naked pits.
We have to have the obligatory shot where she sees him without his beard and is very gooey-eyed.
Yeah.
Which goes right hand in hand with the scene where she comes walking down the grand staircase in slow motion. Finally
Yes.
made over into beautiful princess.
We just
Christmas.
skipped all the way to
Yeah,
there.
yeah. We're not there yet.
We're talking about reveal scenes.
Right.
You know there's a makeover in it.
You know
Yeah,
there's
there is a
makeover.
makeover.
And
but-
they even say makeover.
yeah. We also have to establish that she's a klutz. That's important.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
She breaks a Ming vase pretty early in the film.
15th century
15th century.
Ming porcelain.
It's always a Ming vase, right?
Yeah.
Isn't
Mhm.
that what everyone breaks in every movie? A lot of Archie comics, let
Yeah.
me tell you, Archie breaks a lot of Ming
In
vases.
Cats,
Hmm.
Mungo Jerry and Rumple Teaser.
They break a Ming vase?
Hmm
I don't think I knew that.
They do.
The Ming vases get broken often,
That's-
especially by klutzy but endearing Americans.
So is this why they're actually so expensive? It's not because they're like antiques. They're just they break really easy. There's only so many left.
because you adorable Americans keep
Just
breaking
breaking
them.
But it's like, here's a priceless artifact, and all the rich people are just like, we'll just get another one. Like, it's like, well,
Ming
Americans.
vases are going extinct because all you clumsy Americans.
And then she like
Aw, we have
shoots
so
it.
much money.
She like accidentally shoots an arrow through a window and like
Into
shoots
some priceless
Into
work of
a
art.
Yeah.
Painting, yeah.
and same deal. Like at what it's just like, oh, shake their heads like, oh, but we're rich. It's cool. Like
It's fine.
it's fine.
We're not
She's
worried
quirky.
about it. She's just different.
It's the price of quirkiness.
She wears red Chuck Taylors every day.
If we haven't mentioned the red Chuck Taylors,
We
please
haven't.
just know she wears them the entire film.
It's
Always.
an important part. I would say it's a characteristic. Like it's an establishing trait. We don't get much about her other than red chucks.
Well, it's so hard. You know, women in general, you know, we don't have a lot of personality traits. So you have to, when you put us in movies and TV, make things up like wear red chucks as a major personality trait.
Is this a callback to the red Christmas shoes?
I don't think so.
Is this is
don't
this
think
like
this
a
relates to
symbolic
Christmas
of Christmas shoes?
No, I don't think it has anything to do with Christmas shoes.
How do you know?
What are Christmas shoes? Do I get this reference?
That
The very,
song.
very sad story and song.
Okay, then no, I don't.
About
We're talking about
Christmas
the
shoes.
Christmas Prince.
We will not go into the plot of Christmas shoes right now. I can't handle that.
I
I'll
just
te-
thought about red shoes at Christmas.
I'll tell you after this.
Sydney looks like
Aw,
she's about to
man,
cry.
That looks like
It's
a
very
bummer.
sad.
You can call and tell me after Christmas, like when I'm okay
Okay.
with being bummed again.
When it's like 360 days away from Christmas again, everyone's sad.
Yeah.
Then we'll talk about Christmas shoes.
Yeah.
Until then, we'll talk about Christmas Prince, and iZombie's red chucks, her red shoes, which are not Christmas shoes. They are just shoes that she insists on wearing, even as you pointed out when she wears ball gown.
Right.
But we don't know much else about her. She's plucky.
Yeah. Now
She
She has a dad who runs a 5-star diner in
It's
New
a
York.
Yeah. So when we were first introduced to her, we meet her. Well, she goes to her dad's diner, and it's in New
Rudy's
York.
Diner.
Yeah.
Rudy's Diner.
Somewhere in what I think is downtown Brooklyn.
Yes.
And I'm just it's like a very confusing diner. Like I work at a restaurant and I couldn't help but immediately just like look at the menu and it's like waffles $2.50. I'm like, lies. I live in New York. Waffles are like $14 and it's a brunch food for rich people. Like, no, that's absolutely wrong. But then it's like veggie plate $14, and then on the sign on the wall there's a sign that says Mexican food. Like, what is going on?
Rudy has a broad range of tastes.
You didn't try.
We're supposed to believe it's a very successful diner because he talks about like he wasn't sure if he could do it, but then his wife believed in him. So her mom has passed away.
Yeah.
Christmas shoes.
No, it is not Christmas shoes.
The spiritual sequel to Christmas Shoes, the song Christmas Prince. That's what we're dealing with here.
Okay,
and
sorry.
existing in the same universe as the Princess Diaries.
But also, the streets in this area of New York are always empty. There are no
Yes.
people on them.
Which also, I don't need to give you the like, and I'm from New York, so I know. Like, you all know.
That's not true. That doesn't happen.
Now, as you probably have guessed at this point, these two crazy kids are gonna fall in love.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
But before we talk about how they fall in love,
Let's check the group message.
all right. Well, we've got some very special things to talk to you about on the group message this week. First of all, we have a message for Sam from Heather. And the message for you, Sam, is surprise! Thanks for introducing me to the world of McElroy and Smurl podcasts, and thanks for being the best friend I could ever ask for. I can't imagine life without you. Oh,
That's so sweet.
Happy Candle
Candle
Nights.
Nights.
That you were going to forget the last
I
one.
wasn't gonna forget Happy
Just
Candle
joining.
Nights. It was just there was an awe.
Mm-hmm.
That's very
Sweet.
sweet, Heather.
That was very nice, Heather. So Sam, Happy Candle Nights.
Yeah.
You got a great friend in Heather. And I guess vice versa, since that's what the message was about. What else do we have on the group message this week?
Well, we also have a sponsor. Still Buffering is partly sponsored by Tula, a skincare brand that combines probiotics with other skin-friendly superfoods to naturally balance and boost the health of your complexion. They are very effective, but they're also very gentle, so they're good for all skin types and all ages. And they support your skin's first line of defense, making your skin healthier, more balanced, and more resistant to damage and aging. And super duper important, they do not test on animals. I was lucky enough to get to try out some of the Tula products. And, I've talked on the show previously about my lack of a skincare regimen. So this was a bit of a commitment for me. But I have to say, I get it now, Riley. Once you take the deep dive into...
You don't go back.
You don't, no. I mean... Like, I didn't realize my skin was supposed to have, like, an even tone, but now it does. The products they sent me, there was a cleanser, basically like a toner, and a moisturizer, along with these really cool single-use, like, exfoliating pads. And, yeah, it all, like, just super effective, like, made my skin feel super soft. And, yeah, it's a really cool line of products.
So if our listeners want to check this out, where should they go, Riley?
Well, if you want to check this out, listeners, and you want 20% off of your purchase, visit tula.com/stillbuffering. That's TULA.com/stillbuffering and enter the promo code stillbuffering when you check out, and you'll get 20% off your purchase.
And also, if you're still needing a gift, you can pick out one of Tula's amazing limited edition holiday sets on their website.
Yeah.
So you can check those out too. So go to tula.com/stillbuffering and enter the promo code stillbuffering. All right. So back to the Christmas Prince.
All right.
Oh, good.
What I was gonna say is we're supposed to realize that the prince is not flaky, that he really just doesn't like the spotlight or something.
I was never
He's
quite
more
clear.
about being with the people.
Yeah, I think
He's
he
like
has
a down to earth prince.
like questions if he's most effective just sitting on a throne, or if he wouldn't be better just being a good person out in the world. I read that as his
Wow.
quest.
Did you see all that?
We're going deep into the
We
Christmas.
watch the same movie. Look, I care about Handsome Chin. I want him to live the life he wants to lead.
I also am not clear as to, I mean, I guess that's the reason why they keep hinting at, like, is there some secret reason he doesn't want to be king? And I guess there's not. It's just like,
It's not his thing.
Yeah,
he's just not sure if he wants, I mean, that's it. I mean, I think it's that simple. I don't know. Maybe I don't want to be king.
Yeah, I thought
Maybe
there was
do.
going to be like some deep, sad reveal or something why he wouldn't. They just kind of, that main plot point that is the movie, they were like, so.
We got
leave that
nothing
behind.
there.
Yeah, walk away from that.
We don't have anything to say about that.
Hmm.
So we'll move on. And by the way, it is worth noting that so the our little heroine, our main character, iZombie, whose name is really Amber, but who is
Secretly Martha.
posing as Martha.
Yes.
The tutor, the American tutor. Her charge, Emily, has totally figured this out, in part because she doesn't know math.
Yeah. And also because she is straight up like hacked into her laptop.
Yeah, she hacked into her laptop and read all of her secret reporter notes.
Found her reporter notes, some of which include things like, they're all just bullet points and say things like, need to find out, exclamation point, exclamation point. And also, why, in all caps, with a bunch of question marks.
Yeah, I really doubt this girl's investigative abilities. But just a moment on Emily there. Like, I really was hoping the movie was going to take a turn and just put her on the throne. Because that girl is on top of it.
I would
like,
want her as my queen.
Yeah,
Yes.
no, like she figured out the whole plot, had the whole royal family fooled, and Emily's like, nah, no, come on, who's believing this? Like, she was so like aware. She gets stuff done. Like, I don't know why that couldn't have been the way the movie went.
I feel like that they sort of knew that, because they address at one point. She says, "Well, if she's asking Emily, if your brother doesn't want to be king and he won't be king, then who's next in line are you?" And she says, "No, it's an all male bloodline. Like, they're not allowed to."
So it goes to my cousin?
So it goes to my cousin.
Right. So of course, like, as soon as the plot is revealed that there's a missing prince, we're all like, oh, there's got to be like an evil like uncle or something that
Right.
wants the throne, and then it's a cousin.
It's
But
a
we've
cousin.
read
We
some
called it,
Shakespeare.
though.
We know
Yeah.
how this goes. We've seen The Lion King.
Basically, yes.
Yeah. So no, it's a cousin, Simon. Yeah, that is nice.
Yeah, it isn't.
I think.
He's
Bad Pants.
Who we referred to as Bad Pants the cousin.
Yeah, Bad
He
Pants
is,
cousin.
and he is exactly that. I don't think there's any other dimension to his character. He's
No.
bad, and he wants to be king.
I thought at least there was going to be that, and maybe like, oh, but maybe he's also a love rival, because that's the two roles that the
Mhm.
villainous cousin can fill. But no, he just can't wait to be king. Sorry.
And then
All
there's
of my knowledge on how royalty works comes entirely from the Lion King. So.
his partner, evil character, is Sophia.
Sassy red dress.
Yes, who we learn was once romantically involved with the prince, and then she sold a story about it to a
Yeah.
tabloid.
But also, are they related?
And she's a baroness.
Yeah, is she really short on money? Like, I don't know what a baroness really is actually, but I assume that
I would have thought she had money, and she's royalty, and she sold a story about other royalty to a tabloid.
But now that he's gonna be king, she's back and she's gonna try to put the moves on him so she can be queen, because that's her goal. There.
That's her
Right.
goal. She doesn't
Yeah.
really love him. She just wants to be queen.
She's
which
the
is-
worst Cersei ever, though. She's not good at getting that throne.
No, she's not. Yes, she is not like a powerfully manipulative, brilliant, like Machiavellian figure in the movie.
No.
No, she really plays that one card of like, I'm pretty, and when that doesn't work, she just turns to another guy and goes, I'm pretty.
And she does throw out something at him like, "I've known you a long time."
I
She
know you
also-
still love me.
She also makes the moves by grabbing out the thick metal heart-shaped ornament that she brought to hang on the family tree and says, "Will you hang this for me?
I
Yeah.
brought this giant
Be gentle."
heart to hang on your tree. Do you get the subtext?
But like Christmas ornaments are a pretty important plot point in this, so let's not
This is
joke
true.
around about
That's
it.
true. That's true. We also learn early on that the late king carved a giant acorn ornament.
And upon seeing it, of course, our main protagonist, Amber, goes, "It's beautiful."
And everyone oohs and ahs over the giant acorn.
Oh, we say giant acorn. We mean
It's
like
giant.
the size of both of your hands.
It's comically large to be hanging on a Christmas tree.
I thought the tree was just gonna fall over. Like I think that giant heart was a counterbalance. Like you just put one on each side and it keeps the tree afloat.
So now we know the conflict. Now we have set up what the problem is.
Yeah.
And our intrepid reporter is doing her best to try to figure out all of this intrigue and write a story about it through the use of her terrible, terrible notes.
But,
Yeah.
oh, wait.
That also do say things. I have to. One more note she makes is, "I must dig deeper." So she does. She digs deeper, and by that I mean she keeps stumbling into things.
Mhm.
And she just kind of like follows him around weirdly, like he's
Mhm.
going to ride his horse in the woods. Surely that will reveal something.
I'm going to steal a horse and follow him.
Yeah.
So she does steal a horse. She saddles that horse up. She grew up in New York. Where did she learn how to saddle
Oh no,
that horse?
she
Yeah.
makes a statement. The only horses I've ever ridden are in Central Park. I don't
Are
think
you
that
riding
happens.
those?
I don't think that happens.
Taylor, did you ride the horses at Central
No.
Park?
Can you bring your own saddle? Be like, here, fire. Just
Can
hop
I
on real
hop
quick.
Like, I don't know. Like, one night she was coming, like, back from a college party and she saw one of those buggies parked there and just climbed on, like, I'm riding a horse. That is the only thing I can imagine is her experience actually riding horses in Central Park.
Oh, I zombie.
There's that drunk girl trying to ride the horses at Central Park again. Someday I'm gonna steal one from a prince.
And she did.
And please, if anybody has ridden a horse in Central Park that's not like a police officer or someone that drives a buggy, let me know. Let me know if there's secret horse riding there, because I'd be down. I've never seen it.
So she steals a horse. She follows him into the woods. She falls off the horse because she's clumsy. We
Mhm.
know, and he saves her from the pack of wolves.
That are just dogs. They're just dogs.
But they're like hauntingly close to the castle. Like, she's not that far. And
No.
it's just like, oh,
Here are
wolves.
the wolves. And he
Christmas
saves her
Prince shows up just in time
Yes.
with both horses.
and takes her to a secret cabin in the woods
Right.
where they have, romantic moments.
The way you said that,
The
it
way you
sounded like
said
it's gonna be
that.
way sexier. They
Yeah.
like
No.
had a moment of like looking at each other.
They
Where
almost kissed.
and then he was like, "I better go check on the horses."
Man, I don't know how many guys have used that excuse with me.
I don't even have horses.
I better go check on the horses. What horses?
in Brooklyn.
The
There are
ones-
no horses
The ones
here.
in Central Park.
Again.
I gotta go check on the horses in Central Park.
I'm headed to Central Park to check on the horses. Bye. I'll call you tomorrow. So while he's checking on the horses, she starts snooping. No, she's already shown her this poem that his dad wrote, which is really a riddle.
Right.
But it directly references something being inside of a
Giant
seed.
Of
A giant acorn.
A giant wooden acorn.
So it's not that great of a riddle. It basically would make you think like, well, I think there's something in that comically large acorn we've seen earlier.
If only they had given it to Emily, she would have been like, guys, clearly.
Emily would have figured this out. So she also accidentally finds a hidden compartment in the desk in the cabin and finds paperwork in there that she reads and discovers that the prince is adopted.
Dun, dun, dun. And at this point, I'm like, man, he's adopted. What if, he's not a part of the bloodline? Then it just goes to Emily because the cousin's, a jerk. But no.
I know.
I was very excited.
I was very hopeful that Emily was going to be queen by the end of this, but
No.
Nope. So he is secretly adopted, which we find because they have a very fancy adoption certificate that looks like it's been printed straight from Word.
Yeah.
Just says certificate of adoption across the top and has a name in the middle.
I don't think this thing is even notarized.
No.
Aldovia, your paperwork is questionable.
I don't even see signatures on it. I think it
No.
just has his name. It looks like a certificate you get in elementary school for
Yeah.
good citizenship.
At the end of the year when it was you participated in math field day.
Yeah, it's not even like a major award certificate. It's a participation
Yeah.
certificate.
It does. So she finds this and she's like, oh man, now I uncovered all this because that was my job. I came here to do this. I lied a lot to get it back here and do this, but now I feel bad because I got the hots for him.
What do I do?
What do I do?
Right.
And in the meantime, cousin Bad Pants
Yes.
and Slinky Red Dress,
Sassy red dress, Sydney.
Sassy Red Dress, sorry. They are conspiring against her
Mm-hmm.
because they don't like her
Yeah.
because she's winning the prince's affections, and I don't know, she's an American.
Yeah, basically.
She wears Chuck Taylors. Whatever.
Well, and once again, questionable, sleuthing investigative skills here.
Yeah.
She takes the paperwork, the incriminating paperwork, back to the castle, and just kind of has them in a room,
on her bed.
Yeah, just kind of all over the place.
And she calls her friends who also work at the very cool magazine where she works, and are like, she's like, what do I do, guys? And they're like, well, I mean, you're a reporter. You have found a story. I would report it, is what I would do.
Report that.
Which is sound advice.
Mhm.
yeah,
And she's like, oh, no.
but I love him now.
But now she's all into him.
Mm-hmm.
And so anyway, while she is out mooching with the prince later, the evil cousin and Sophia sneak into her bedroom and find these certificates, and oh no, all is about to be undone.
They also find her passport, which clearly says her name is not Martha. So you just think like, hey, here are these papers that could destroy the stability of an entire country, and my passport that completely gives away my story. Maybe don't just put them like in my purse.
On your bed.
Just in like a random manila folder sitting on your bed.
Just sitting on your bed right there for everybody to find.
Like, try exactly 25% more to hide those, and you might have gotten there.
So they find them. They wait, of course, to the coronation ball itself, the Christmas Eve coronation ball.
Because he has to be coronated right at the last minute?
Yes.
Before midnight on Christmas Eve?
No, I mean, he had Christmas Day to do it.
Okay.
If you remember. But
could happen anytime.
But they were going to do it on Christmas Eve. So Christmas Eve, they're having the coronation. They wait till the very last second. And I guess during a coronation, it might be standard to say, anybody against this?
It's like a
marriage.
wedding.
Yeah. And so and of course, then the evil cousin and Sophia are like, yes.
Objection.
He's adopted. And she's a journalist.
Yep.
And she's still wearing those Chuck Taylors with her ball gown.
At a coronation. And everybody's very upset. She runs out of the room. They decide they're going to make evil cousin the king.
With no,
but not yet.
But they don't they have this piece of paper, and the guy just kind of looks at it, like does one of those squinty looks from a distance, and is like, well, yep, clearly this is fine. Sorry.
This looks official. And so, of course, there's like the touching moment between the prince and his mom, and where she's like, I'm so sorry we never told you. And he's like, I can't believe this. And then they hug each other because they love each other. Because, like, she's his mom. Because she's his mom. And that's all nice. And so they're going to fight this, except they have no plan to fight it. He's like, we can't let this happen. We're going to go to where they're about to crown my evil cousin prince. This is by the next day, where they're going to crown my evil cousin prince or king. But I'm going to stop it. I have no idea how to do this other than to show up and say, no.
Basically, yeah, that was the plan.
That was his plan.
Yeah.
But it's okay because iZombie, sitting in the airport, waiting for her plane, talking to her dad, solves the riddle of the acorn. And so she rushes back and she opens the acorn and she finds a secret note from the king that says, like, hey, I want to give the throne to Richard even though he's not technically my bloodline. And this is a decree. And she brings it back and presents it. And I guess that's enough.
That's, again, like kind of somewhat official, maybe works document.
But also by like someone who just deceived the entire royal family, like shows up with like this, sketchy looking piece of paper. And they're like, but she's lied to us before. How do you know this is true? And the queen's just like, because I trust her. Like,
okay.
Why?
You didn't even know what her real name was until like 12 hours ago.
So that saves the day. I do like that this movie knows what it is. It's not supposed to make you feel worried or nervous because the entirety of this, like, he's adopted and now they've ruined the coronation and now this evil cousin's going to be king and then, oh no, now they found this piece of paper. It's all okay. It's like maybe 10 minutes. Maybe less.
Yeah. There's not a lot of stress here.
No. This is low stakes.
Yeah. They want to get back to those snowball fights right away.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's wonderful. Prince Richard becomes King Richard II.
Christmas King.
Christmas Prince once before, now Christmas King. Amber disappears back to New York.
Her life as a journalist.
Where she writes the truth and is totally, like, ripped apart for it.
Yeah, because it's too sweet. She wrote too sweet and lovely of a story about the loving and caring Christmas King.
Yes.
Not gossip enough.
No.
So they tell her to get back to the drudgery she was doing before, and she says, forget y'all. I'm going to start a blog.
And the hit blog with the classic title, Amber's Blog.
Yeah.
Amber's Blog. So Amber's Blog, which is all about the Christmas King of Aldovia.
Yep.
Is an instant hit, which we find out shortly thereafter while she is now working at her dad's diner. And we learn from her friends that it has 20,000 hits.
I mean, this movie is asked for some pretty strong suspension of disbelief. I think they could up that number a little bit because this is the internet. Like, you're a hit.
20,000?
20,000. Like,
You're a hit now.
Yeah.
And they're like, you're going to be rich and famous from your blog.
From your blog that has 20,000 hits? Does that mean that like 20,000 people read all of your blog posts on Amber's blog about Christmas King?
Side question. Anybody out there whose name is Amber, has anybody once ever called you Amb as a
Am.
nickname?
Oh, yeah, because she is frequently called Amb.
And I don't know about that. I don't know. Maybe
That
I'm
does
wrong.
not sound like a
Amb.
nickname.
All right.
So of course, it's New Year's Eve. She's working at her dad's diner. She's on the verge of fame and fortune thanks to Amber's blog.
Right.
When who should show up outside?
Christmas King on
Christmas
the empty
King.
streets of Brooklyn.
Yes.
Where nobody lives there.
No.
So he shows up, and she comes outside, and if this movie, if we hadn't already had to like, okay, I guess Christmas Prince, enough. Not only is he there because he loves her and he couldn't live without her, he proposes.
How else are you getting in this movie?
He knew her for, I think she was there for 2 weeks.
It could have been less.
But classic Aldovian courting ritual of the snowball fight had been had. They have no choice but to get married now.
Right.
Or it will be quite
They
scandalous.
would have had to cut off their hands.
So he proposes, and there's a moment where you think she's going to be like, well, now hold on. We barely know each other.
Yeah.
But no.
Maybe pump the brakes a little. Oh, no.
No.
She says yes. And
then they mooch in the snow.
that's the end of Bridget
Finn.
Jones' Diary. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That's the end of
Well,
The
A
Christmas
Christmas
Prince.
Prince.
I mean, but you gotta focus on that. The dad looks out the window and's like kind of smile, like, "All right, cool. That crazy kid found love,"
They all, yeah.
and then just watches him kiss for a little too
Yeah,
long.
that and lingers.
And they're all toasting to the new year, and he toasts to his daughter mooching a boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
yeah.
a king.
You go,
A
kids.
boy king.
A boy king.
Yeah.
She's about to be queen of Aldovia.
Right?
She just heard of it for the first time like 2 weeks ago.
Wait, land of the jelly meats?
Oh,
Did
yeah,
we
we didn't
talk
address that.
about-
Aldovia's chief delicacy is jelly meat.
It's exactly what it sounds like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they had this fancy cocktail party, and it seems the only things there were to eat were jelly meats and cookies. I don't know if this is the entire diet of Aldovians. I don't know.
Maybe that's why they have the accents they do that are very inconsistent and very different.
That's a great moment. I have to feel like somebody was like, "What accents are we doing for this country?" And they just went, whatever.
Europe.
What do you do best?
Something Europe.
Britishy, and then you do Europey.
Snowy Europe. That's that.
Wouldn't it make sense for us to be in Eastern Europe? Yeah, but no, don't worry about that. Don't do any
No.
accents like that. Do more like British-esque.
Yeah.
Britishish.
Britishish. That's sort of what they're doing, kind of.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just like that straight up transatlantic, like this just sounds very crisp
Mm-hmm.
and it's English,
Mm-hmm.
and that's all we got for you.
Mm-hmm.
I will note too, there are 2 penis jokes in this movie.
Yeah, and I think they're both told by the young girl.
Yeah, at least one is definitely made by the 8-year-old,
Yeah.
which is an odd choice.
Yeah, for the Christmas Prince.
And I mean, they're I guess that's for the parents that are having to watch this with their kids.
With their teens?
I don't know. Like, because they're
I'm a parent. That joke wasn't for me.
I don't know who it was
If
for.
I'm watching this movie with my parents as a teen and that comes on, I'm like, well, gotta go
Well.
to the bathroom.
I don't even know that I would have to do that. Like, if I'm watching it with my parents and then an 8-year-old makes a penis joke, I don't know how
Who is that joke for?
that's a great question. Who was this joke for?
Are you out there?
If I could only ask one question of the directors of the Princess,
Who are the penis jokes for?
Who were the penis jokes for?
They're for the Christmas Prince.
And give me a recipe for jelly meats. Just those 2 things.
Christmas Prince.
So that's the Christmas Prince. I would say that you should watch it.
That's your final decision after us recounting the events of this movie that we
I
just
would
spoiled
say-
for everyone listening?
I would say you should watch it. Well, I mean, it's worse than we could even describe, though.
Yeah, I mean, I would say watch it, but maybe, and I will, this is a podcast for teens, I will not endorse drinking, but, if you had some festive beverages and a bunch of friends, I bet someone out there has made a festive drinking game out of this movie,
Oh,
because
I'm sure you could.
Oh,
it's perfect for it.
And it's not, I mean, when I say like it's not a very good film, it's not The Room level of like
No.
perfection through imperfection. But
It was close.
I just wish it would have
It's
gone
just-
more that way. Like, that was my only complaint. Like, why
Just
weren't you
lean in.
even worse? Yeah,
Just
lean
go
in how
in.
bad you are.
See, we know what you are.
More weird penis jokes from the 8-year-old.
I wanted it to be a movie that is bad and knows it's bad and making fun of all the stereotypical Lifetime Hallmark Christmas movies.
Yeah.
It was not.
Would you recommend people to watch it?
I don't know.
You're a teen. This is supposed to be for you.
Yeah,
I want
come on.
I want to clarify. All of my friends have watched this movie, some of them multiple times, and love it very much.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
and
All
love
right.
it very much.
Love it very much. But I would like to say and admit I fell asleep for the last like 15 minutes of this
Yeah, I was
movie.
trying to wake you up there at the end.
And I saw them get engaged. I saw Christmas Prince become Christmas King and her become Christmas Queen. But it did not keep my attention.
Do you think maybe it is hitting? It's a big hit with teenagers and not so much the adult crowd, because it is exactly like every other movie that's ever been made in that genre. And maybe your friends haven't seen those.
Maybe yeah.
They think this is groundbreaking.
Like,
this plot line.
We haven't seen all the Hallmark Channel Lifetime Christmas movies because we don't watch actual TV. So it's like, wow, this new movie on Netflix. And then they start their own Netflix Hallmark channel. And then we all start to hate the Christmas Prince.
So maybe your friends have never seen a romantic comedy.
Yes.
Okay. I mean, because if you had never seen any film
Ever.
all of this would be very surprising to you.
and then you might find it. I mean, I still think it would be somewhat predictable, but some of the elements that we were able to see coming.
So if
might
you've
not
never
know.
seen a film before, go watch The Christmas Prince.
I think, there's a certain amount of the teen crowd that likes the formulaic plot. Think of like every teen movie ever. There's a reason there's not another teen movie. They basically are like, oh, hey teens, you like this plot. Here you go. So maybe you guys are chill with that
It's also
kind of stuff.
the gooey, mushy love story.
Is
It's like, are they gonna fall in love? Oh, they fell in love.
Well,
He's mad. Oh, he's a king. Oh, they're in love. Oh, they're married.
Is it? I mean, but do you think teens like the low stakes? Like, there is no doubt they're going to fall in love.
Oh, for sure.
I mean,
you
there's
just gotta
no
watch it
there's no
happen.
moment that you're wondering like, oh, what if they don't end up together?
I don't know, when they first meet and he steals her taxi and she calls him like a jerk or something, like I wasn't sure right then.
But also, we
wasn't
weren't sure
sure
if that was Christmas Prince or not because he had a beard.
He was cleverly disguised in a beard.
Oh.
Okay. Well, I don't know. I guess if teens like it, teens should watch it.
I guess if you're a teen or you've never seen a movie, watch The Christmas Prince.
There's our final recommendation.
All right, so that's like a 2.5 out of 3 sister recommendation there.
Yeah.
I had a moment where at the top of my Netflix screen I saw a percent, and I thought, it's just in my head, I thought, is that a Rotten Tomatoes thing? And it was 86?
Yeah.
89.
And I was like 89, and I was like, oh wow, I thought this was supposed to be bad, and then I realized that it's a match, an 89% match for like me, right? That's for my taste,
Yeah.
for my
For
Netflix
Justin.
taste, or for Justin.
Do you feel judged?
I feel very judged and now largely this is Justin's Netflix, but I also am part of it.
It's all the Zumbo's Just Desserts.
Our tastes match 89% with the Christmas Prince.
I watched the Bronies documentary not too long ago, but it was because it kept being like my number one match. And I watch a lot of like anime and horror movies on my Netflix. I feel like that's the bulk of what I watch. I was like, what is it? Why does it? It was actually really good. It's a really good documentary. Like, bronies are cool people. Now I know that because I watched the documentary, but it was a little bit. I was like, what? Netflix, what are you trying to tell me about me that I don't want to know?
Well, that's the thing. Like, now the next movie that was recommended to me on on Justin and I's Netflix was The Christmas Inheritance,
Of course.
which I think is the same.
It looked very much the same.
It looked like sequel.
I don't know. There was
I don't mean actual
Okay.
sequel. I mean, like, it looked like it could be a sequel.
Spiritual sequel.
a spiritual sequel to the Christmas
Just
Prince.
like Christmas Prince is a spiritual sequel to the Christmas Shoes.
And somehow,
Princess Diaries.
Princess
yes,
Diaries.
okay.
I'm looking forward to the sequel where Emily
Becomes
overthrows
queen.
her brother and becomes queen.
Yes. Christmas
I'll
Queen.
watch that.
Yes.
I mean, I watched this also. That's not like, I'm out for
fair.
that. I was down for this. I don't know why.
Well, so if you have nothing better to do, there's a film that exists on Netflix
You
called
can
The Christmas
watch
Prince.
it if you have Netflix.
And thank you. Thank you, sisters, for watching The Christmas Prince, number 1. And number 2, for talking with me about it.
You're welcome.
Yeah, we did it.
Thank you, everybody, for listening. And if you like our show, you should check out MaximumFun.org for a lot of other wonderful shows on our network. If you want to email us, you can email us at stillbuffering@MaximumFun.org. If you want to tweet at us, you can tweet at us at stillbuff. And happy Candlenights,
Yeah.
everybody. We'll maybe see you. If you're coming
Tomorrow.
to Candlenights, we'll see you tomorrow.
Merry
Yeah.
Candlenight's Eve.
That's very exciting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Happy Candlenights Eve.
I hope you're all doing your Candlenights Eve traditions.
Mhm.
Don't know what those are.
either.
I mean, I think it is whatever you feel it should be in your heart.
Cool.
Perhaps it is watching The Christmas Prince.
There you go.
Maybe. Mayhaps.
That's up to you. And thank you to the Novellas for our theme song, Baby You Change Your Mind.
This has been Still Buffering, a sister's guide to teens through the ages. I am Riley Smurl.
I'm Sydney McElroy.
And I'm Taylor Smurl.
I am a teenager.
And I was too.
So sing.
Are stacks of unread books taking over your apartment?
Do you constantly miss your train stop because you're caught up in reading?
I'm Bria Grant.
And I'm Mallory O'Mara.
We party hard.
And by party hard, we mean read books.
So join us every Thursday on Reading Glasses, a Maximum Fun podcast about reading and book culture.
Get more out of your reading life.
We'll help you conquer your to-be-read pile,
Get out of that book slump.
and squeeze more reading time into your busy day.
Learn how to read better. Wow, that was good.
MaximumFun.org.
Comedy and culture.
Artist owned.
Listener supported.